I've seen it go as long as 2-3 months, the process to make the whole thing work. And a lot of 1031 exchange investors sometimes back out because there's so much involved and they just don't have time to deal with that.
When investors have property now and they want to 1031 into a syndicate like yours, we were talking about the frustrations with that. Can you talk a little bit about that for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So typically when you invest into a syndication deal, you invest it's the commercial property that we're purchasing as a group is under LLC. So you'll invest your money into that LLC and you get a piece of that equity of the commercial property, the LLC. When it comes to 1031 exchange, the process does get kind of very tedious. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and I've seen it go as long as 2-3 months, the process to make the whole thing work. And a lot of 1031 exchange investors sometimes back out because there's so much involved and they just don't have time to deal with that. But not only that, what I was gonna say is that as a syndicator, we typically the investment amount is between 75 to 100,000, but for 1031 exchange, we require 500,000 minimum. Just because there's, like I said, there's a process. So it's possible to invest 500,000, and when you do invest into the syndication, you're not going to invest into the LLC. You're going to be separate. I mean, you're going to be set up as a TIC, tenant in common, and that's how usually it works.
Yeah, that's our experience here. So, at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, we're helping people figure out how to continue to defer their capital gains taxes so they can continue to grow their wealth over time. And one of the things that we're discovering is that this 1031 is just so frustrating for people, right? There's timelines to meet and paperwork to do. And now I can't really seem to 1031 into the exact kind of investment that I want. And so that's what we're doing here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, is showing people how to use a deferred sales trust, continue to defer their capital gains. And then if they want to, and the details of this are, more complicated than I want to get into in this podcast, but it does allow, sellers who are now having their money held in a deferred sales trust to go into an LLC with the trustee and actually be able to invest in things like other real estate syndicates. So I love what you're doing, and I hear your frustration on the 1031. And if anybody's listening to this, you can go to lanningfinancial.com. That's me. I'm Jessica Lanning. Or the capitalgainstaxsolutions.com, and mention that you heard this little snippet on the podcast, and we would be happy to have a conversation with you about that.